living. I see a Vietnam veteran.
Right.
Thank you, brother. If you're a veteran, will you raise your hand so we can honor you, please? New York Fire, Police, can we honor you with a round of applause, please? Friends, one of the biggest casualties in this fight that we've been in for over a decade is the truth.
Yes!
There are those that are working every day to change, to distort, and to deny the truth. The truth about who our allies are, like Israel.
Yes!
The truth about what really happened on September 11th. The truth about who really attacked us. The truth about the war that we are in for our country, both here at home and abroad.
Yes!
Friends, I got up from North Carolina last night. I live in Wilmington. My wife and 2 children. I got in at 2 o'clock in the morning and CNN had a special on 9/11. And in one image they had Cindy Sheehan, and in the next they had President Bush, and in one image they had Daisy Khan, the wife of Imam Raouf, and in the next image they had Don Rumsfeld, as if there was some kind of moral parity, as if we ought to be giving equivalent time to all these positions in the name of tolerance. Friends, I was stunned. I was stunned. It's up to us to remember the truth.
Yes.
Friends, 2 days ago, I was stunned on MSNBC. They had a program, and you know who was offering security commentary? Have you heard of Jamie Gorelick? Jamie Gorelick was the Deputy Attorney General during the Clinton era. Jamie Gorelick was responsible in 1996 for authoring a FISA memo that in essence separated the FBI's criminal and investigation and intelligence divisions. In essence, she helped to build what they call the Chinese wall. This person, as much as any single person can, owns responsibility for the blindness that led to our attack. And yet, she had a position on the 9/11 Commission, and it was only when Attorney General Ashcroft stood in front of that commission and said, none of you here know, but a very person sitting on this board with you was one of the authors of the very memo that allowed our FBI to be blinded. And he declassified that memo, and he outed Jamie Gorelick to that commission. Friends, I'm telling you this story because there are facts that we need to know. It's not enough to wave a flag. You need to know the facts. You need to be able to share the truth with your friends and neighbors. Because you know what? As exciting as it is to look around and see your faces, there aren't enough of you here.
No, there's not.
Do you know why? Because you need to be doing more work.
Yes.
You need to be doing harder work.
Yes.
Going out, reaching out to your friends and your neighbors and the people that you don't know. You need to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and talk about what the real cost is and what the real stakes are for this country. Because friends, if we don't do that now, we're going to lose an opportunity to stand for what's right. And standing for what's right means having men and women in leadership that do not think it's appropriate to have a mosque at Ground Zero. Does anyone here think that that's a good idea? It stuns me. Let me tell you something. You are in solidarity. There are men and women across the country today that are in freedom rallies and patriot rallies all over America. It's not just here at Ground Zero in New York. Do you know why? Because it wasn't New York that was attacked on September 11th. It was America that was attacked on September 11th. And there are men and women just like you around the country that are standing, that are letting their voices be heard. But the same challenge that goes to them goes to you. Are you smart about what this Durban conference means? Do you understand Turkey's role in this flotilla? Do you appreciate what Iranian gunboats in the Mediterranean means? Do you understand how all these pieces are connected? Do you understand how the networks are connected? Because if you don't, friends, I've got a homework assignment for you, and nobody likes it. But you've got to go out and learn. You've got to get educated, and you've got to share the facts and the truth with your friends and with others. Because not enough of us know the truth, and instead, the realities are being whitewashed by a media that is frankly complicit. They're afraid that they're going to be labeled, and when you get labeled, friend, you get marginalized. And that's what they've tried to do to various grassroots elements around the country. I don't care political party you are. I don't care what race or religion you are. I know that you love America because you're holding American flags and you've chosen to be here, even though you know there's a heightened terror alert. You are not afraid, and you are going to come and talk about what's important to you, and you are going to defend those values, and you are not going to back down for you.
Freedom, freedom, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. No fear.
Friends, in parting, I want to leave you with a thought. And it's John 15:13, that no man has greater love than when he's willing to live his life for a brother. I want you to remember and to honor not just all of the victims that we lost when we were attacked tragically, but I want you to honor all of the families that chose in that moment and in the aftermath to stop their life and to put on a uniform to go serve. Men like Pat Tillman, men like the Navy SEALs that we just lost in this recent operation. Because friends, they're fallen well there. They're fallen well there.
It was a setup!
Wasn't that a little...
Friends, I want to leave you with a parting thought.
That was a
Blessed are
setup.
the peacemakers, for they're the children of God. I hope that each one of you is thanking a man and woman in uniform today. I hope that each one of you reaches out to a friend and neighbor that you might know that's serving. And I'm going to leave you with something to put a smile on your face.
Who gave you
I have
orders?
2 little boys, and the older one said to me, "Daddy, I want to be a Navy SEAL." And his little brother said, "Daddy, I want to be a Navy shark." Thank you very much, and God bless you.
We stand proudly today in solidarity with the State of Israel. Of the global jihad. The jihad that came to America on September 11th, 2001 is a daily feature of life in Israel and has been since its founding in 1948 and even before that. And so we are very, very proud and honored to have with us today Dr. Aryeh Eldad, who is a former candidate for the Prime Minister of Israel and a member of the Knesset for the National Union Party, for which he heads the Hatikva faction. He is a Brigadier General in the Israel Defense Forces. Please welcome Dr. Eldad.
Friends, brothers in arms in this struggle against terrorism, 10 years ago, we in Israel were beaten just like you here. We in Israel could understand how painful it was. The terrible blow was not only to the thousands that died, not only to the families, not only to the whole American nation, it was to the whole Western civilization. It was to everybody who loves freedom.
Yes, yes.
Fighting this war for decades, we could feel the pain, understand the significance of evil winning this battle, but we also were sure that it will not lead them to any victory in the war.
Amen.
But we also hope that now the US will better understand Israel and our long-standing struggle against evil. We hope that no longer the US will regard our war as a troubling neighbors conflict in a remote corner of the world. We hope for a deeper understanding of the global war that Islam declared against all infidels, against the Western culture, against freedom and democracy. We hope that no longer we will face the demand to appease the aggressors in order to gain short term of ceasefire. We hope that in the era of blindness and naivety is over. We hope that they will understand that we are on the same boat. We hope that after going to the other side of the world to to Afghanistan and Iraq in order to eradicate terrorism from its geopolitical basis, no one will preach Israel to give terror more territorial bases.
Amen! 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 No more!
We hope that the lessons that were learned here will lead you not only to make people take off their shoes in airport, but to put on a mental defense shield,
Yes.
to develop better mechanism not only to detect explosives in suitcase, but also better differentiation between friend and enemy.
Amen!
But we
Amen!
were wrong. Now the new understanding seems to be very short-term. Creation of coalition with so-called moderate Arab states was preferred over taking sides with Israel. The pressure is on Israel to allow the creation of a Palestinian state in the heartland of Israel, as if they do not have one already in Jordan.
That's right.
Such a state will immediately turn into a Hamas terrorist state. And this is not going to buy the US even a short term of support in the new Arab world that will be more Islamized at the end of the Arab Spring.
Yep.
Huge military and financial support to Egypt did not and will not prevent it from becoming a Muslim Brotherhood state,
Yep.
or turning Sinai Peninsula to the new Al-Qaeda training ground, the new Hamas arsenal for missiles. It's time for the US, post 9/11 US, to understand that the conflict in the Middle East is not a local territorial conflict, but part of the global religious war, part of the global jihad.
Yes.
It is time to understand, after eventually killing Osama bin Laden, that there are many more like him.
Yes. Many
It
more.
is time to understand that the war is not over.
Nope.
It is time to understand that the nuclear Shiite Iran threatening to eliminate Israel is just the other face of the Sunni Al-Qaeda attack on the US soil.
Absolutely.
It is time to stop telling Israel, if you will act alone, you will remain alone, when we asked for coordination and permission to attack Iran. It is time to
Come on! Come on! That's right!
It is time to understand that words and sanctions will never stop the enemy, and nothing short than military action will do it.
That's right!
It is time to learn and implement the lessons from what happened here just 10 years ago. God, please bless America,
Yes,
because
Lord.
we need strong America.
If there is a cautionary tale for America, it's Europe. If you want to know what we're going to look like in 5 to 10 years,
Yep.
look to Europe.
That's right.
My next speaker is the Danish leader of Stop the Islamization of Denmark, Stop the Islamization of Europe. Anna's Gravis is my colleague. I am proud